I have 7 quick solutions for you if you have already seen problems when you upgraded to macOS Sequoia. But before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more Pro Mac tips. If your first problem is that macOS Sequoia won't install, well, there's a couple things that you should check, one of which being your Wi-Fi. You can check your Wi-Fi status in the top right corner in your control center and make sure that everything is good to go, or you can check your settings over here and go to Wi-Fi, and you could always turn your Wi-Fi on and off to reconnect with your network. The next thing you should check is Apple's servers when it comes to the macOS software update. The server that we're looking for is in the top right corner, and if there is a green light next to it, that means that it's good to go. And the last thing you could check is to see if your device is even compatible with macOS Sequoia. Here's a list of compatible Macs that are eligible for this upgrade. Next, we'll talk about an issue of speed when you upgrade to macOS Sequoia. If you notice that your computer has slowed down with this new upgrade, well, there's one thing that we can do. We're going to run some maintenance on our Macs on a very useful program called CleanMyMac. From this home screen, we're going to go to Performance, and then we're going to run a quick scan. Right after the scan, here are some useful tips that you can engage in, but we're going to click View All Tasks. And the most important tasks are Flush DNS Cache, Repair Disk Permissions, and Thin Time Machine Snapshots. If you have problems spotlight searching some apps on your laptop or sending out mail, then you could check the other 2 boxes as well. So after we check those, we'll click Run. And just like that, CleanMyMac made my life easier by running these maintenance tasks to make my laptop run a lot smoother, especially after I upgraded to macOS Sequoia. And if you want, there's a download link in the description box below if you want to get started with this program as well. I highly recommend it. If you need more tips on how to speed up your slow Mac, here's a video link to get you started. If you have an issue with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth after this upgrade, well, it's a very simple fix. We'll go to Settings, then Wi-Fi. We could toggle off and then on. And if you still can't connect to the Wi-Fi, go ahead and hit these 3 dots, click Forget This Network, and then reconnect with your Wi-Fi and re-enter your password so that you're fresh onto the network. The same goes for Bluetooth. Toggle off and then on. And if you can't reconnect, hit the information button, click Forget This Device, and then reconnect with your device. The 4th issue we'll look into is your apps crashing when you upgrade to macOS Sequoia, and that's a pretty common problem. Hit Command Space, type in App Store, go to the bottom left corner to Updates, and I have a couple apps to update so that it's on par with macOS Sequoia's new specs, and I can click Update All. If you downloaded an app from a developer's website, you could click on the app's name in the top left corner and click Check for Updates. If you start to notice that your battery drains a lot faster on macOS Sequoia, here's a couple solutions. One thing you could do is to close your browser tabs, or you can go to your system settings. From General, we're going to scroll down and go to Login Items and Extensions, and you might see a list right here called Login Items, and those are apps that start when you launch your computer, and you see apps that are allowed to run in the background. You can go ahead and toggle off those apps that you don't even use, and you can manage your extensions over here as well that are running in the background. You can also go to Desktop and Dock, and you can turn off any animation effects to save some battery. And if you're on a MacBook, go to Battery, and over here on the On Battery section, you could go Low Power Mode every time you are unplugged from an outlet. So what if your Mac doesn't boot when you upgrade to Sequoia? Well, here's a couple things that you can do. 1, check the power cable on your desktop Mac to see if that's plugged in, and then make sure that your display even works, because that could be an issue. You can also try disconnecting everything that is plugged into your laptop or onto your Mac and re-plug them in to see if that works. And the last thing you could do is boot your Mac in safe mode, and here's a screenshot of instructions that you can do. And the last issue is what if Sequoia just fails during setup? If restarting your Mac doesn't solve this issue, well, you may have to boot up in recovery mode and reinstall Sequoia there. So a quick question for you, what other issues have you been facing when you upgraded to macOS Sequoia? Comment down below, we would love to know. And that's all the tips that I have for you today, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more Pro Mac tips.